This now from Washington, D.C. is climate specialist Durwood Zaelke. Welcome to TRT World. Just very simply put, if you may, what are the top 3 things that are different in this latest UN report? It took years to compile. We hear scientists saying that this is now the final warning.
Well, the Secretary General Guterres has said it well. We are now sitting on a time bomb, which is set to go off in 10 years or less. This is like an Alfred Hitchcock thriller. But this report also is the guidebook to how to defuse that bomb. So it tells us that there are strategies that we can do that will turn down the heat fast enough to avoid the worst of what may be coming. Now, if we don't turn down the heat, what's going to happen is the self-reinforcing feedbacks, where the Earth starts to warm itself, will push us past a series of irreversible and catastrophic tipping points. That's not the future that we want.
No, absolutely not. And Durwood, just to interrupt, we have heard this urgency before, this tone before. Who listens to it, really? And what pressure is there on governments to really listen to this latest Ipcc report and that warning, as you say, from António Guterres, that this is a time bomb ticking? There's 10 years before it goes off.
It's a very good question. So, first of all, the youth are listening. Okay, so the youth are the political force now that is more powerful, we hope, than the oil companies and other industrial actors who are not paying attention to these warnings. Investors are beginning to pay attention because they see their investments going down the toilet if they don't shift to the cleaner energy future and the other strategies that are going to help us turn down the warming curve. So those things are different. Now, the test will be when the parties meet at COP28, the Conference of Parties to the UN Climate Treaty, in the fall in the United Arab Republic, UAE, Emirates, and they will be tested. Will they turn down the warming curve, for example, by agreeing to cut methane intensity of oil, gas, and coal?
Just to interrupt, that's in November, that next COP.
Yeah, it is.
The last one was in Egypt. We're talking about Abu Dhabi there in this November. From one COP to another, where is that accountability, that pressure to make them do what they pledge and promise? Because, you know, that time bomb can't wait until November.
It can't wait. So will we see the kind of protest that the youth have started, and now the more senior people are beginning to join around the world? So this is something that I hope we will see. The Biden administration is hosting a major economies forum meeting April 20th. This is gathering the heads of state from the 20 largest economies. What will they do to heed the warning of this report? And I suspect what they will do is focus on methane, because that is the single most important way to turn down the near-term warming. What will the World Bank and the International Monetary Fund do at their annual meeting in April? Will they launch aggressive efforts to cut not only carbon dioxide by decarbonizing the energy system, but also cutting methane and the other short-lived super climate pollutants? You have to do both of these things. So you have a series of opportunities coming up, and we'll be monitoring, we'll be pressuring the governments. And right now we see leadership from the island states. They're the ones who put the 1.5 guardrail on the map back in Copenhagen many years ago. And the reason they did that is because they are facing an existential threat. When we pass 1.5, we're going to lose so much of the land-based snow and ice, it will raise sea levels that will literally cause these islands to disappear. So you take the islands, you take the vulnerable people in Africa, for example. They're starting to show leadership on this as well. So there's a lot of the world that is now moving to aggressive action, not yet convincing China, not yet convincing India, but putting more pressure on, I think, than we've ever seen in the past.
Absolutely, and that's a great point that you raised there, aggressive pressure. Thank you so much for speaking to us today, Durwood Zaelke, speaking to us from Washington, D.C., a climate specialist. Thanks for your expertise.